Good evening. My name is Tom. I am the second part of this assignment. I guess that would be, well, I can't remember what the wording was, but we'll say part 2. The article I chose for this assignment, me and my partner Kim decided to go with delirium. And the article I chose forgive me, my computer is slow tonight. However, it is Hospital Delirium Treatment, Continuation of Antipsychotic Therapy from the Intensive Care Unit to Discharge. Now, in a nutshell, what this is it talks about how a lot of delirium medications are antipsychotic medications. And this paper went into detail about how sometimes it does not work. Why, you ask? Well, there are a multitude of reasons. Number one being that if you are put on psychotic medications, you are bound to have like a pyramidal scheme of it. Think like when certain athletes use the steroids and they have to use it in a pyramid way. Now what that means is, forgive the hand gestures, but you have a pyramid and you need to increase your volume, then decrease it. So it's kind of like that. This way you get the most maximum usage out of it. It's kind of like that. Another reason with the opioid epidemic among us, there's a lot of susceptibility to usage dependence in antipsychotic medications. Now, could antipsychotic medications be a harmful substance? Well, too much of anything could be a harmful substance. Now, one of the most common antipsychotic medications is haloperidol, and a lot of those side effects also have ill effects, nausea, vomiting. Some could even put you into another psychotic state. So that would be the problem in this. Now what this is going back to the article done by Flory, Gonzalez, Tata, Milstein, and Golati back in 2015, it discusses how 80% of ICU victims experience delirium at some point. Now, I should have maybe opened up with this, but delirium is whenever you're experiencing certain hallucinations, seeing or hearing things that aren't there, seeing things in the room. Think like whenever you're sleep deprived for a good while and you start to see things. Think like whenever you are, the best example I can make about delirium is what research I've done into different special forces training, where you're sleep deprived for a good bit, and as a result, after strenuous activities and little sleep, in the book No Easy Day, a Navy SEAL going through his basic training sees a clown chasing him in the canoe behind him, and he's paddling faster than he was before. Now that may seem like, okay, what does that have anything to do with anything? But that's the best kind of example that I can come up with about what delirium is. And a lot of people in hospitals that are in the intensive care unit, they'll experience delirium because of the different medications that they're on, because they are just stuck in one spot for so long, because of what they're experiencing. And that's the best way they treat it, is with antipsychotics. This paper discuss the validity of that, because there are some things that tell us that it's not a valid use, an efficient use of medications. Other things that this article discussed, well, this study was conducted at a 750-bed tertiary care center in Baltimore, Maryland. Now, out of the 750 beds, it was only 87 individuals that were utilized for this study. Only 87 met the criteria. They recorded patient demographics for this. They broke it up into two different sections. The first section, they recorded the patient's demographics by their age, their sex, their history of drug use, their if they ever use opiates or not, and such the like. Now the first group was transferred from the ICU into a different wing of the hospital. The second group was done in a different wing of the hospital and were discharged. And they were recorded with other avenues like barbiturate use, excuse me, barbiturate use, the use of, they also recorded use of opiates, and they discussed where they were discharged to. Were they discharged to home? Were they discharged to a rehabilitation center? Or were they discharged to a different facility? Now, all in all, this, I won't lie, this was a dry read, but what it showed was that individuals that used this, I believe it was 75% of them, their doctors did use antipsychotic. It was so common, but it wasn't an efficient manner. It caused more harm than good. That the use of antipsychotics for the management of delirium during transitional of care was common. However, efforts to decrease the off-label use of antipsychotics for patients in long-term care facilities are important among national health organizations. And the continuation of these potential inappropriate medications during transitional care may contribute to long-term polypharmacy and unnecessary adverse effects. Now, yes, I'm reading right off the label here, but what that all means is, as I said, it did more harm than good. Now, the different articles that I also used for this is talks about, the causes, the signs, the symptoms, and the treatments for and for delirium. I don't know if anybody watching this has ever experienced delirium. I personally do not believe I have, but it could be one of those things. Excuse me, I'm not sure what just happened. Okay, and I'm back again. I apologize for that. It was one of those things where I thought I was hitting the volume button and I hit the record or the power button instead. Anyway, that in a nutshell is this article. What this article found was that the use of antipsychotics wasn't a helpful medication to use, yet it is still continued to use, because in layman's terms, it's better to treat the devil you know than the devil that you don't. The article, again, it was a dry read, but it was very informative, and it was very good to understand the use of treatments for delirium. Hopefully, as time progresses, we will know more about how to treat it in a more holistic and a more natural way, because I believe that is what we as social workers need to focus in on, rather than pushing medications on our clients, our individuals, our patients we more need to treat the cause, not throw a band-aid on it. That's all I have. Thanks for sticking around and listening, and I hope everyone has a great day.